DLS Dallas Stars post-game show as the Stars lose tonight for the second straight time on the road as they fall to the Buffalo Sabres 4-2. Luds, Sam, our producer John, and I are all set to get this one going. We're going to dive into the chat big time tonight, but we have to recap things. Let's get it started now. The Stars post-game show begins. All right, yeah. Somebody yelled Tatanka, and the Buffalo came storming through as the Stars lose this one 4-2. This is the DLLS Dallas Stars postgame show alongside Craig Ludwig and Sam Nessler. I'm Owen Newkirk. Our producer John Anderson is at the controls and ready to take your super chats. If you're just joining us, which you'd have to because we just started, get your chats in. Sam's monitoring. John's watching. We will have a full chat segment coming up here after our game recap. As we look at that, Sam has been activated off the IR, and it's nice to have you back, Sam.
It's nice to be here, boys. Thank you.
Boy, you know this is a podcast. You can say more than a couple words.
Oh,
he doesn't know that.
Oh, so I was going to the bathroom earlier.
Nope, that's not where we were going on that.
I do want to talk about that, but let's do it at the end of the
Fast
show.
Yes,
forward.
let's try to at least hang on to the edge of the
Past
third
this
rail
part.
that we do all the time. All right, let's get into it. Luds, it was a, what do you call the first period? There was a lot of chances. I had more high danger chances for the Sabres than the Stars. The Stars had lots of chances, but none of them were, or except for one, Jason Robertson, was one quality chance in the first 20 minutes. They were okay. I don't know if I would say they slept walk through the first period, but they didn't have that dynamic punch that is very characteristic of a Pete DeBoer's Dallas Stars team.
Yeah, you'd kind of want to come out with guns ablaze, and you got a 2-game road trip, and you got a team that you're better than, in our opinion. You should have better results, and I think you want to come out knowing that your next game is a little bit tougher in a tougher building, better team, and to kind of secure a couple points. And I'm going to use the word urgency probably about 6 times tonight, but they didn't have it to start the game, and it just allowed the Buffalo team to kind of hang around. And their goalie was good when he needed to be good.
Yeah, no, same thing. I think urgency, intensity, whatever we talked about in the pregame, they Stars did not have a whole lot of it until about the last 5 minutes of the game, and that's going to be too late in the NHL. So,
yeah, regardless of the opponent, you know what I mean. Like there may be 1 or 2 teams you can get away with that. Buffalo's not at the bottom of the barrel, but they still have some pride, and they're at home, and they're trying to get their record, their game, and everything on track. And we're going to keep on saying it's early, but it'll get early late and late early and everything else. So better be careful.
The chances for Buffalo in the first period, again, I had it down for 11-9 Stars in chances, but Buffalo outshot them 10-8. And the Sabres had the high danger chances. Bo Byram had an open shot from the right side, almost the bottom of the circle. He missed the net, but it was a really good look. Then that Jason Robertson chance set up by Stankoven, a really good one-time wrister. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, we're going to say his name a lot tonight, not because it's fun, but because he was noticeable, made a really good save. But then it was Dylan Cousins toe dragging, going to the crease, forcing a good save. Rasmus Dahlin made a wide open shot from the right circle. I don't know why the Stars decided to just leave him open, but it was his second shot, the bank shot from below the goal line off of Ottinger's back that was stopped by Thomas Harley's left skate. And that goes in off Otter's back if Harley's not standing on the goal line.
it's a great play. I mean, at first look, we couldn't tell what it bounced off of or how it got to Harley. And then you also thought maybe it just hit him or he's lucky. He makes that play. It's going in, and he leans that, I think it's his left skate to get it to make a play. So that's good alert play, which is funny enough because that's what we're going to talk about that was missing from a lot of the game was the alert.
It was nice that
play.
there was a defenseman back there on the net, huh? You want to see me lead into some things? Yeah. Go ahead. Okay.
Buddies,
Great non sequitur.
Stars had a power play early in the game. Peyton Krebs got called for cross-checking.
They did?
At 2:44.
They had a power play early in the game?
0 shots on goal and no quality chances. They had another one at the 12:19 mark of the first period, a tripping call against Dlls. They had 2 quality chances. They missed the net with both of them. One was a pretty nice setup play where Marchment had a redirection in the low slot just right of center, and he missed it wide. And then Wyatt Johnston had a shot from the dot on the right side. He missed it wide left. You have 2 power plays in the period, 0 shots on goal. That wasn't a very good start.
Opportunity to grab some momentum, and momentum doesn't have to be a goal. And they need to spend time. They need to make the other team scramble it and make the goaltender get tired trying to go from one side of the net, get in front of their face, get in front of their bodies, run a couple people over. And it's the work ethic for me isn't there. I think that they're going to have to tweak a couple things right now because they're still in that phase where we can pass the puck into the net, and they're not on the mark right now. And again, we're going to go back, or I'm going to go back to what happened at the end of the game. And people don't call those power plays, but it's a 6-on-5. How did they score the goals? And why did they score the goals? Okay, it's 5-on-4. Learn from your 6-on-5 when you have a bunch of bodies there and there's the urgency to get pucks to the net. They don't have that right now on their 5-on. Their entries weren't great again. It's just not in sync.
I mean, it's the urgency that we're talking about. It's making. I mean, there's 2 ways to look at a power play. You can be so in tune and skilled that you can make those plays, right? You can make 1, 2, 3 passes across the seam. You can make those Draisaitl type passes to the low end and empty net, open net one-timers. But that's not happening right now, and they have the skill to do it. I'm not saying to dumb down your power play all season long. You don't need to. When you have the skill and you're in sync, you can make those plays. Right now, they couldn't be further from in sync, right? They're Backstreet Boys out there, and thank you. I know, thank you. But they just need to dumb it down, right? Just throw it to the net, stack some guys. What was that? Thursday, I think it was Washington. Their goals when they had the 3 high guys lined up in front of the net. I mean, or 4 lined up. Just crash the net. Lads even not even know if he's joking. Talking about putting Lyubushkin and who else out there?
Jamie.
And Jamie Benn out there and just crashing the net. It's just you just need to simplify. When you're struggling, simplify, and that's not what they're doing. They're overpassing. They're overthinking. They're not going to the puck to support each other, and it's just leading to easy clears or, as we talked about earlier, missed shots, block shots. Just not together. It needs to be more together.
If you had 2 guys, and this is very old school. If you had 2 guys like Lyubushkin, whoever, Jamie, Marchment, and they're planted on the front of the net, and you have play that little 3-man diamond at the top on the half walls, a couple things for me. Number 1, you don't have nobody else to pass the puck around to, and just move it, lose it, move it, get outnumbered. And so you ultimately have to get pucks to the net. And so there's going to be more activity around the front of the net to get a garbage goal. And I just think that they've got to find a way to simplify some things on it. And, and sometimes, what you do is you end up taking, I said this earlier tonight, take your 4th line, put them out there, just let them play 5-on-4 like they're playing 5-on-5 and, maybe create something.
So you go to the second period, it's 0-0. The part I didn't like about the first, aside from the fact that they didn't seem to have that dynamic energy to them, was they got beat 9-5 in the face-off dot. And I always look at that face-off number. If it's one-sided like that, which is, it's almost 2/3 Sabres, it's not just a center-on-center stat. It's a who wants to get into the trenches and work. And when you lose, especially for a Stars team that's very good at face-offs typically, in the last couple of years, they've really been one of the best, if not the best, like they were last year. When you lose 9 out of 14, kind of shows that the other team was working harder than you were.
We're going to go around and around thing, and it's going to come back to the same thing. Is you have to put the will before the skill right now. And I, they're, like I said, like they're coming off that season where everything played out well, 5-on-5, 5-on-4, bing, 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 beautiful goals and things like that. They're going to get back to that, I believe. But now they've got to add a little dirt to their game. And I think you can gain some, you feel good about yourselves when you come out of them dirty kind of games like that. So I think they got to change their mindset a little bit.
We're beating this to death a bit, but I have to say, I've heard many a times people say that the pretty plays on a power play only open up if you do the simple dirty plays first, right? You have to take the one-timer. You've got to get the shot to the net. You've got to go grind. And then the second or third time through, when you go to do that and they try to cover that, that's when those backdoor lanes open. They don't open if you don't ever do the simple stuff, right?
It's the classic, Luds, I'm sure you teach it all the time. If you go in on a power play, you have 5 guys versus 4. But if they're set up in their diamond or their square and you're just standing on the outside, it doesn't matter if you have 10 guys. You're not going to score unless you just happen to throw a shot on net and it goes through a screen. What Owen just said is a perfect example of it. Usually those plays, I'm using the Oilers as an example a bunch because they did this so many times. Usually those plays, it's a shot to the net, a 3-on-2 battle because they have more guys than the penalty kill. They win the puck battle in the corner or wherever it is, throw it up to the point, and that's when that seam pass Draisaitl is open, when those other team is scrambling. Get them out of that diamond or square, however they do it, and get them scrambling a little bit, and then all of a sudden those passing lanes open up for those guys, and then you find the open space.
The other thing I was going to say is, like, when you watch their 5-on-5 game, especially in their own zone, we talk about numbers all the time, how they outnumber the people down, the opponent down in the corners, and they win a lot of them battles. And because there's no place really to go, they need to have that mentality on the power play, because there were too many times tonight with Stars players standing on the perimeter with the puck, but there was nobody else coming to support him. And there was nobody else there to coming, and there were a lot of 50-50 puck battles, I thought, with the man advantage that they lost that were along the wall. And it's not just because they got out muscled one-on-one, but there was no support. And you have the extra man, you should always have people close to the puck, and then you can get it spread out from there.
Especially when they're on the boards, right? I think the play we were talking about with Wyatt was coming into the middle. If someone is on the boards, even if he's not turned, the defender is getting towards him, you need to get closer. Yeah. You need to follow him and support.
Here's what's happening. The guys without the puck are standing around saying, I'm open. Get it to me. But that's not happening like that. Remember, there was another guy a year ago that was on that power play, and I'm going to say it, so get the bell ready. Joe Pavelski. He would be the first guy sometimes going into the corner to dig the puck out. He would dig the puck out in front of the net. But and you know what happened?
Did you know we had that bell too?
No, I don't know. Was that a cowbell?
No, that's the
There's a real bell. This is the Jeff Kavanaugh has been talking for too long and needs to get on topic bell from the Cowboys show.
That's the reception bell when we want to get service at the hotel.
Well, we need it on the power play. We need service. But the thing is like when that guy was doing that work, the other four were like, well, he's 38 years old. I got to go do that work too. So again, it's about not being out battled, and that's what's happening, whether it's 5-on-5 at times, but more so, which is hard to explain. Sam, you tell us about the shots that don't get to the net. You said that earlier tonight. What is that number?
Yeah, according to Money Puck, it was somewhere around 80% of the shots that they attempt on the power play either miss the net or are blocked.
So they're not on goal.
And that's on top of. That's when they actually have an opportunity to shoot.
Yeah, and then they're not. I mean, the fact that what did they have before tonight? They had like 19 shots on 19 power plays or something. So like, essentially, the plan needs to be shoot the puck, get guys to the net, shoot the puck. It seems like a simple fix. It seems like the statistics back it up. So unless we're missing something, that seems to be what needs to happen to Thursday.
Stars came out to the second period, and they were by far better than the Sabres. Again, score 0-0 at the time. I had them down for the first 8 minutes of period 2. 9-1 quality chances in favor of the Stars. So not only were they creating, they weren't giving up anything to the Sabres. 3 high danger chances. Mason Marchment drove the net from the left wing, got a good shot away from close. Then after a power play where they had 1 shot on goal, it wasn't a high danger chance, but it was Johnston shooting from the right dot. Wyatt had an open wrist shot from the left circle on the rush. That was a high danger chance. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen made the save, and then Stankoven got the rebound in the low slot and had another high danger chance. Those two generated a couple. Again, Stars going all that way, but then Esa Lindell gets called for hooking at 8:30, and that kind of stilted the momentum for Dallas, because then even though they killed off the penalty, Dylan Cousins actually hit the post on a rebound on the top of the crease. They had 4 quality chances, did Buffalo, on that power play, and they didn't score on it. But they kind of got into the second period.
Well, they created momentum.
Yeah.
The power play always doesn't have to score, but at least it has to create momentum, because if it works the other way, When that penalty kill is over for Buffalo, the next 5 guys get on the ice or whoever it is, now they're energized and they're ready to go. Good job, guys. And sometimes it's the other way. We didn't score again. And you get out there and you don't have that same energy to go out and kind of turn things around.
Roope Hintz had a high danger chance from the left dot. Wide open shot just went wide to the right. And that's where things took a turn. We'll talk about the goals next here on the DLLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
Yeah, Roback active wear, quite simple. Best fit, best feel out there. The quality of the gear just speaks for itself. Their performance polos perform better in the heat than any other polos. They are moisture wicking, so the polo doesn't stick to you, and they have a great stretch, so you feel comfortable all the time. It's the perfect shirt for a day on the move. Look clean and use the same comfort, so you're always feeling comfortable and you're always performing at your best. Best looking, best fitting performance polo, period. The collars never lose their shape, and they have all the different options, solids, classic stripes, and the fun prints with Lud's face on it, just in case. So if you want that shirt, use the code DLLSstars20 on roback.com. That's roback.com, RHOBACK.com for a generous 20% off your first order. That's 20% off all polos, hoodies, and shorts with the code DLLSstars20. Make sure to check them out, and they will have you ready for whatever travels or activities you have planned.
You know, I got into hockey because my dad took me to a University of Maine game when I was a kid up in Orono, and I was hooked. There's nothing like watching hockey live. If you want to get the best deals on tickets to go see games, especially hockey games, but also concerts, theater, comedy, you need Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You can look at curated deals, the seat views before you buy, so you can know what you're paying for, plus lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, and even job loss protection, all part of Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. With Game Time, download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time.
Hoo-ah. That was nice.
Back to our recap. Second period, Stars and Sabres are knotted up with a goalless game through half of it. And then a good chance turns into I wouldn't call it fluky, but a go-to-the-net kind of goal. Peyton Krebs scored his first of the year. Beck Mallenstein has a tip play on a point shot from Owen Power. Mallenstein's tip hits the crossbar, arcs in the air, and Krebs wins the battle in the net front, bats it out of midair and in at 12:21 to make it 1-0 Sabres. Luddy, pretty simple. Get to the net, get pucks to the net, good things happen.
Yeah. Who did Krebs outmuscle or beat in front of the net? Do you remember, guys?
I think it was a forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Roope Hintz.
Okay.
That play starts where maybe a little man-on-man stuff going on here. I don't want to go down that road if I don't have
We
to.
need a bell when he complains about man-on-man, too.
Well,
it's appropriate,
it's
though.
coming off the goal line. Labushkin follows, that's the defenseman, by the way, follows his guy up around the tops of the circles. Ultimately, when the puck comes to the front of the net, it's Roope Hintz battling Krebs in front, which Roope Hintz was probably brought up to play in front of the other net at the other end of the building instead of that one. And yeah, Roope gets kind of tossed off to one side, but great hand-eye by Krebs. Not only that, to have the patience to wait to make sure it's below the crossbar so it's not a high stick and he taps that one in.
A minute and 23 seconds later, Ryan McLeod scores on a 2-on-1. Nice pass by Jason Zucker. It's 2-0 Sabres. Just like that, the Stars go from a game where they looked like they were certainly not getting pushed around, hadn't given up anything, to suddenly they're down 2. How did this 2-on-1 develop?
So it's a weird play. Miro Heiskanen gets pinches, rightfully so. They have a chance to win a puck on the boards right inside the Buffalo zone. So Heiskanen kind of pinches in. Bork actually wins the puck. But at the same time, you kind of see Colin Blackwell start to inch into the screen. And if Miro's stuck on that spot, as Leds and I talked about a bunch, they need a forward to go back, right? Because if that puck squeaks out, it's only Harley is back there. There's no one else to defend it, and that's exactly what we saw. Blackwell kind of comes in a little bit too much, gets inside the blue line. Bork wins the puck, just happens that he wins it and tries to throw it deep, and it goes right to the Buffalo defenseman, who makes a good breakout pass, and then all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1 from center, and then on the 2-on-1, it just seemed like, I don't know if Harley didn't know that the who was it, McLeod? That McLeod was breaking down that wing. I don't know if he thought Bork was back and in position, but he played it. Luds, I think you can agree, he played it kind of like it was a 1-on-1, and he was just trying to block the shot or force him down the lane, not break up the pass.
I think what was in Harley's mind, first off, he didn't have his stick in the right area of the ice, and McLeod, who was to his right, I think he thought he was behind him, because when he turns, he's trying to take the pass away, and his stick blade, being a lefty, is facing the net instead of having in the lane that would be in front of him, because McLeod hadn't passed him yet. The other thought could have been that he may have taken a look and thought Bork was going to catch him. But as a defenseman, you have to be 100% sure that he's got him before you abandon how you're supposed to play a 2-on-1. And you can tell Thomas didn't like it. He smashed his stick, on the net and broke it, because he knew that pass did not go in front of him. It went behind, or actually it went in front of him, but not when he turned to take the pass away going to the net. It ended up going behind him over to McLeod. So he knew that he had to take a peek, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
By the end of the period, we had a couple more high danger chances. Greenway had a one-timer from the circle, great save from Oettinger. Dodonov had one from the left dot. UPL, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, made the save. And then Maverick Bork had a redirection little tip play in the slot. There he is. And it hit the left post. And by the end of the second period, that middle 20 minutes, I had high danger chances at 6-4 Dallas, but the score was 2-0 Buffalo. When you go to the dressing room and you've had better quality chances in a period and you're down, that has to feel a bit frustrating, right?
Yeah, because you're doing more of the right things, and you're going, it's coming. Keep up with the same thing. We're going to get another goal.
Well, unfortunately, early in the third period, the goal was for the Sabres. And look, every time you talk about a comeback, you say, okay, we need an early one to get ourselves going and to make it easier so you're not chasing a bunch of goals later. Well, instead of cutting the lead down to 1, they extended it to 3 because Tage Thompson scored 4:17 into the third period on a give and go with Owen Power that was a beautiful shot, but also not great defensive coverage from the Stars.
There were a few things that happened on that one also. There could have been the right coverage, but it starts with coming out of the offensive zone for Dallas, and Tyler Seguin changed when he got above the blue line. So now you're down a man, and as it crosses the blue line, there's a little crisscross there, and Thompson bails out. Marchment takes the other player of Buffalo that goes to the net, so he's out of there. And Dumba had already been too far off, so he couldn't really recover back up to Thompson on that shot. And it was a perfect pass, and we had talked about this. I mean, Tage Thompson is a skilled player, and he's got an incredible one-timer, and it was on display right there.
Do you think we just mentioned Seguin. I believe if Seguin doesn't change on that play, and it's a tough play, right? It's not like there's a clear odd man rush like that, but the puck is inside their own zone, and they have numbers. If Seguin doesn't change on that play, I think he gets into that lane after that delay. But let's say he doesn't. Like he changes like he does. How can Heiskanen and Dumba play that better? Because it kind of looked like Heiskanen passed off Thompson, but they passed him off when they were 10 feet away from both players, so then neither one of them was in a spot.
This is why, for me, the drive to the net by the other Buffalo player that went there is important, because he backed Dumba off, even though that Marchment was coming back with him. And Dumba, again, we're kind of programmed to don't trust the forward. Yep. Are you going to take him all the way to the net? And I think that's why Dumba was so far back by the time the puck got over to Thompson for that one-timer, is that drive pulled him back, Marchment with him, and by the time that pass came over, Dumba wasn't in a lane, and it was just a great shot that beat Jake.
After the third goal, the Stars had a couple of really, really good chances. But think about this. Instead of it being a 2-1 game because of a nice goal, they're chasing a 3-0 deficit. By the way, that Thompson goal would turn out to be the game winner tonight. That's how important that moment was. Matt Duchene, backdoor from Mason Marchment on a really nice play, misses it wide. Logan Stankoven from the right circle hits the right post. He had Luukkonen beat. Either one of those goes in, it's 3-1. They've got a little bit of momentum. Then Thompson had a wide open shot in the mid slot. Good save by Oettinger. Tuck got the rebound. Oettinger, guys, He gave up 3 goals tonight. Jake Ottinger, I don't think you blame him for any of those 3.
No. So 2 things about what you just said. One, that was a perfect example of this game in that one play, right? Thompson's, first of all, by himself. Their best shooter is by himself between the circles, staring down Jake. But then Jake makes a great save, and the puck bounces in front. Tuck gets the rebound. Sabres get another rebound. There's 3-on-3 in there, so they should be winning those battles. Yet for some reason, this beginning of the season, we've seen it over and over again. The Stars just kind of get into that vicinity area defending. They're there, but the Sabres are usually internal, or the other team's usually internal, and they're getting those little chances. It doesn't look like a lot because I don't think they've scored on a lot of them, but you shouldn't have 3 chances when you have the numbers in front. 2, I was just listening to the post game. Mike just sent it to me, Mike Heika, and Pete DeBoer said he didn't like anybody except for Jake in the whole game.
You think that's fair?
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it loud and proud.
Yeah.
Well, you got a Boston Bruins team coming up on Thursday night that certainly have some history with the Stars, with Jim Montgomery, the coach, and, of course, Tyler Seguin against his old team. We'll get into that. So they're down 3-0. They have 6 minutes to go. They pulled Jake Ottinger. That was aggressive, at least by Luddy's standards, but it was necessary because they were down 3 goals. They had to do something. And not only did it get him going, it got him a goal as Thomas Harley scores. Thank you. I called it. Of course, I called it. Shooting off of a defender's stick up over the air and arced in. Harley from Duchesne and Dodonov at 15:24 makes it a 3-1 game. But hey, you get to the puck, you shoot the puck, sometimes good things happen.
And get bodies in front.
And funny enough, that was a blocked shot.
Essentially, right?
But it still went in. So
but it went in. Well, it wasn't completely blocked.
Yeah.
It kept going. But
right.
And then they get another one. Dodonov at the side of the net forces a save from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and Seguin is just hunting it to come his way. It pops right to him. He shelves it. It's his third of the season at 17:48. So 2 extra attacker goals. Maverick Bourque gets the first assist. That is his. Again, apparently he knocked that free after the Dodonov shot.
Yeah.
So he gets his first NHL point. Dodonov has 2 secondary assists in the game. It's 3-2. I didn't think Seguin was very good tonight at all, but he ends up with a goal.
Yeah, but again, look at where they're coming and look at the work that was put into it. And I mean, you look at the last, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 minutes, and sprinkle in a little bit in the second period. But that's the urgency that everybody was looking for from the drop of the puck, and they had it in the end. But it's probably a good lesson, regardless of the opponent, where you are, and there's good goaltenders. And if we're not going to play as close to 60 minutes a night, we're not going to have the results that we want for the most part.
Yeah. Agreed.
So then they give up an empty net goal as Alex Tuck scores after a turnover by Miro Heiskanen. And Luddy, you said he looks like he was a little tired. So with 7 minutes to play, Miro came on the ice and played for 1:50. That's a long shift. Then he had another shift for 35, another for 46, another for 1:19, and then he has a 20-second shift, and they score that goal. That's a lot of ice time in the final 6 minutes. He's playing almost all 6 minutes there.
What do you have for his final time? Do you have
his final total tonight was 26-23.
Yeah, for me, there's times I think Miro's tired, and I think he's playing a lot, and he wants to play a lot, and he knows that he can help this club out, but he's taking some unnecessary chances early in games that I don't think he has to. In other words, staying in on the offensive blue line if it's not there. The one that led to a goal, he stepped up in the neutral zone by the red line that it got behind him and chasing back. He creates more having to recover to his own net than he probably needs to. So, and again, I know what it's out of, and he's a horse and he can play there, but I think he can play a quieter game at times and conserve more energy. And when you have games like this, you have a full tank or closer to a full tank as you come down to that time.
I'm curious, lads, because I'm not great at time on ice stuff, especially when it's such a small discrepancy. But for example, Dahlin played 23:40. So that's what you said, 26 something. So about
I believe was his
2.5 fewer minutes. Can that really make a difference if the Stars find a way to put Miro out there?
To me, it makes a difference in how much time you're spending in your own zone and running around and having to play a physical battle and fight to get back to your own net and things like that. And then also want to get up on the rush, which you need Miro up on the rush and down behind the offensive net. I think you can manage your minutes a little bit better. But again, that's a team thing. I mean, he's going to be out there at the end of the game, and pucks that I talk about on the power play. They did a lot of chasing back to their own end, grabbing pucks again tonight by turnovers on
Yeah.
their power plays that didn't get in deep, or little passes that they were trying to make didn't work out. Some of the entries didn't work out. So, and he's the guy that has to go back and get them all the time.
So follow up before we go to the next segment here. Why are they not doing that then?
Are we talking power play stuff?
No, just thinking of Miro. Why is he not playing? They have the depth. They signed these guys, right, to have 6 defensemen. So why is Miro still playing 27 nights?
I think
27
when you're chasing the game like they were, he's your best option to put out there to.
And he should be able to play
create.
26, 27 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit situational.
I'm
right?
just only.
Yeah.
I'm only reason I'm saying this because he has looked tired in
So,
past,
you
and
guys were
especially in the
talking, I
playoffs.
looked at Nils
so.
Lundqvist's shift charts, and he didn't play in the last 6 minutes until the empty netter, and he was on for the last 11 seconds. But who are you going to go with if you're going with? Are they going with 2 defensemen and 4 forwards? So
Right.
you're going to go with Harley and Miro, and then you're probably throwing S out there because they trust him. And you're right, maybe Nils, but they didn't.
But there's also a difference in playing 27 minutes when you're playing a regular shift.
Yeah.
And you're playing 40, 45 seconds. And then when you start getting, that's what I mean, manage your minutes for the first 2/3, 3/4 of the game, because at the end you want them out there all the time. And so now, and again, when you're chasing the game, he's lugging the puck all the way down. Then he's chasing all the way back. Then he's going all the way down. And then when they got a battle in the corner, then he gets on the bench and somebody comes off and he's sitting there for 15 seconds and he's going back out again. So I think if you can keep some gas in your tank when so that as the game rolls along, and knowing that you're going to have to be back out there the last 5 minutes of the game, you're going to have to play 3.5 minutes of it.
Well, it's a great line because that minute 50 he played to start the 6-on-5, it was about a minute before they pulled Ottinger. So then he played another minute 6-on-5. He gets a 30-second break. He's out for another 35 seconds. He gets another 30-second break, is out for 46 seconds. He gets another 30-second break, and he's out for a minute 19. That's not
It's like
a
beer league.
2-3 minute recovery. No, beer league gets 2 minutes of rest because guys stay out for too long.
Yeah.
This is like barely time to catch your breath stuff.
Yeah, and when you're playing 6-on-5, pucks are getting out of the zone, and typically, I mean, they iced it a couple times, or 2 or 3 times. I don't like that part, but anyway, pucks are getting out, and you're going all the way back to your own blue line typically to regroup, if not further, to bring it back up the ice again. And then you're trying to stay in the offensive zone and add to what's going on down there.
So the final score 4-2 in favor of the Sabres as they win for the 3rd time in their last 5 games. Suddenly the Sabres are 3-1-1 in a 5-game stretch, which sounds a lot better than their first 0-3 to start. And it's Buffalo's first win over Dallas since January 23rd of 2023, which was Dallas had won 3 straight. Owen Power scored less than a minute into overtime 2 years ago, and that was at the AAC. I remember that game. That was a part of that 22-23 season where the Stars lost a ton of 3-on-3 games, especially after some good comebacks. Shots on goal, 29-25 Dallas. Again, they pushed toward the end. Quality chances were 33-24 Stars, but, Luddy, 12-11 Buffalo in high danger chances. Again, by my count. Stars ended up with a huge number in faceoffs. Second and third periods, they were much better, 31-18. But it's that first period again where they could have maybe gotten out to a lead. And usually when Dallas gets out to a lead, they're hard to catch.
Yeah, I think there was too much interior from Buffalo and not enough from Dallas. And when they do get in there, they obviously they have the guys that can put the puck in the net. We saw what Tyler did with that shot, right? That 6-on-5 goal. I mean, but look at where they're being scored. Like, I just think you have to learn something. If nothing more, your power play. Your power play has to learn what the 6-on-5 did. Go get some dirty goals and let's get some bodies. And we need help. You got to have numbers around that puck.
By the way, John is chirping me in the chat right now. If Owen ever breaks, we'll go to the chats next. So let's go to the chats next here on the DLLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
Oh, that's not. I was gonna say I'm in trouble if that's what it is. Let's
do your Empire
talk
Bowl.
about
Somebody- we'll work
Empire
on it.
today.
This is what happens when you look forward to the next game. I think our producer's looking forward to the next
he's a
game.
little too excited about a game at TV.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 minutes, guys.
With Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they're going to have copycats, but Empire will not be beaten on quality, service, or speed, so competitors can advertise their low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Their virtual floor designer makes it easy to see floors in any space. Just snap a picture and see how the floors will look in your room. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners of the show can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details.
Let's talk about Blue Chew. Does Blue Chew work? If you're asking that question, we want you to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's done online. There's no visits to a doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. All right, let's get to the chat. By the way, super chats, like a ride at Disney, you get to the front of the line, and we've got one. Oh, Ardell was waiting. It's a little one tonight. We've got a Dumba Miro. Ludwig/Miro. Oh, he called it a Ludwig 3, not a Dumba.
I thought maybe he thought we should be partners.
That'd be an interesting tandem.
Maybe the question is intended.
I think he had a hard 27 minutes tonight. Imagine if he had to play with me.
Please.
Miro, 0 points in 7 games, says Ardell. Worried?
I'm not worried about his points at all. I'm worried about the rest of the game. I'm
What are you worried about?
I want him to defend. And again, I see him chasing back to his own net more than I care to see. I think that he can do all the same things, but it's a little bit like Thomas Harley. Didn't we talk a little bit about that? Like,
we did.
Thomas seems a little bit like he's leaning to grab the points and the goals and things like that. And again, I know that's part of what this team does, but defend when you're supposed to defend, and you don't have to bleed and rush out of there. So I'm not worried about what, as long as they win games. I don't care how many points he gets.
Don't you know you can't win the Norris without 100 points though?
Does he? I'd rather have him win the Stanley Cup than the
Well,
Norris.
he's not going to win it. He's not going to win it trying to get 100 points and getting 0. So,
well, right now Logan Stankoven is going to try to win the Calder without scoring a goal, and he might do it. He's fantastic.
He's going to lead in shots.
T Farmer, why do we have such a hard time getting the breakout pass on the road? It seems like we have it at home, but the road is another story. Same with the defense. You know what's weird is that Dallas was the #1 team in the NHL last year on the road, and they have not looked fantastic on the road. They weren't great against Nashville, but found a way to win with a good second period. They weren't great in a game they should have won against the Washington Capitals. They weren't great tonight. They're 4-0 at home, so they've kind of flipped the script. It's early, but where is that tenacious, simple road style that was so successful for them last year?
I have no idea what goes on in the room, and this may sound crazy right now, but it's never too early to have a team powwow, and still have a good record, still in a good spot, but we've got to change things. They can't continue to slip in games, and we're winning some games. Let's be honest, they won some games because of their goaltender. I mean, they're not playing, this super game where they're dominating teams. So, you can have a meeting and just say, listen, here's where we're at. Our goaltender has done great for us, but we better get our game back together here, because it's got a couple different levels. If we're going to expect to be the team that we expect to be in the room, and everybody else out here expects us to be when we're getting closer to March.
So Pete DeBoer is a great coach, right? He knows how to push the right buttons, but do they need to get beat 5-0 to have that powwow in today's NHL?
They could have been beat 5-0.
I mean,
except for the goaltender.
Losing 4-2 to Buffalo is kind of like losing 5-0 in a game, right? You should never lose. You should not allow 4 goals against Buffalo.
And
ever.
I would be saying, we've got the goaltender that can win us the Stanley Cup. Well, let's quit overworking him, because we don't want him to be overworked and have something fluky happen. Defenseman, let's keep people away from him in front of our net, and don't let people crash net, all these things, because he's the guy. let's take care of them, and let's stop with all this, these high, as you call them, high quality and danger chances. We can cut it down.
Yeah, I mean, 12 high danger chances against seems like a lot, especially against a Sabres team that, yeah, sorry to remind you guys, but 2 seasons ago they went to Buffalo, won 10-4. By the way, Sam, Ryan Suter scored the game winner in that game because everybody scored in that game, as you predicted, right? But think about that. It felt like the Stars' offense was stuck in second gear or even neutral for a large portion of it. By the way, for those younger listeners and for Sam, those gears are back when most cars were standard transmission. You had to use a clutch and a stick shift. You didn't have automatic transmission or even the CVTs.
Or one you plug into an outlet.
Yeah, I had one of those things on my go-kart when I was at Funplex.
There you go.
So
yeah, did you have a clutch or was it auto?
I think it was auto. I think it was just a real. I still went the wrong direction.
Buddy, I love driving standard transmission. Those are fun.
Same here.
Yeah,
old school.
I don't know how to
grind them.
I still occasionally go to hit the clutch with my left foot, and there's nothing there.
Let me tell you about the
during
war,
the Great
children.
War when I used to use my clutch.
Since we're off the rails already, Kachi, our head of production and also the producer of the Cowboy Show, I got here right in time for a triple Pavelski bell. Where's the ding?
Oh yeah. Do I have to say it when you're quoting someone else?
And by the way, she also wrote,
no
and
rules.
the bell is more for Clarence.
Oh, not for
Kavanaugh.
Who's
Clarence does go off the rails.
Who's Perf?
Perf is Kat's fiance.
Who's Perf? Says Luds.
Hey, this might kind of was joking when I first said it, but now Luds, I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you in the bathroom after.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have a little group powwow in the bathroom. Players only meeting.
Is this where we walk out again?
As much as didn't you guys miss me though? As much as I
want to say yes.
As much as I was partially joking, thinking this, what I would do is I would go into the room and I would show them a film study of every shift that Logan Stankoven has, and I would say, "Here's what you do. Go do that."
I agree.
Except that if you do that, are you turning the room against a kid?
Yeah, I wouldn't actually
against Stankoven.
I mean,
no,
they love the guy.
Yeah.
But do you get any veteran resentment of if they just keep saying play like him?
I don't know. I just think it's funny that he's the one who just keeps standing out every single game in
all
the zones.
Yeah,
allocating time as deserved.
That's the part. The only thing coaches can do nowadays that can really get messages across is ice time. You've said that before. In today's contract world, where everybody's getting a pretty decent pay. I mean, was it $775? That's $775,000 is the league minimum. So, hell, can I sit the bench? I'd take that for a year. That'd be fantastic. But when you look at this team, they have another gear. Luddy, you've said this before as well. You cannot bring playoff intensity for 82 games. It's impossible. But we'd like to see a little bit more than this.
Yeah, and again, let's not. The sky isn't falling here, right? Said that last week.
The sky is falling.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
And this isn't a panic thing, but it's just it has to become more of their game.
My favorite one.
Oh, I'll wear it out.
Yeah, you will.
Perf.
Sorry, Letty, go back to your point.
See, he picks up on his
I
own
didn't
jokes.
have to tell him.
Learns fast.
I just think that it has to come into their game little more than what we're seeing, and I'm talking about the U word, the urgency word. And I think that you need to send messages to team. The New York Rangers, who a lot of us have Dallas playing them in the finals. When you watch those guys play, they play with some urgency. They don't win every game, but you know that they're dialed in right now because they know it's not a light switch. And we're not going to turn it on the 40-game mark. And you know what? Everybody's going to go through a rough period in your season typically. So you have an opportunity against teams like Buffalo and some of the teams that they played. Put some points in the bank. So if those times come,
until tonight, they're now 5-2.
And again, like I said, we're good, but don't. Now you got a Boston team that's tough to play against in their building, so it'll be another tough game for them, and they're going to need a way better effort, in a couple nights from now than they did tonight if they want to beat Boston.
Is Chicken Little a good movie?
You have to ask our producer because
Chicken Little's very good. I believe.
I've seen Chicken Run.
I want to say Chicken Run is also excellent.
That's a great movie.
Totally different animation style.
Yeah, Chicken Run is the claymation. Are you familiar, Luddy?
I'm wondering how do we get so off track?
It's like claymation.
Claymation
is like Jordy Benn's beard when they made fun of him for being
Yukon Cornelius.
Cornelius, yeah. All right, I'll watch Chicken Little.
It's a good one.
So I'm seeing a bunch of ones in the chat upset at Steve's spot. He is the Stars assistant coach who is.
What do you want him to do?
Well, I'm going to ask you this question. So Steve Spott, assistant coach, is in charge of running the power play.
Take some minutes away from somebody.
Is that
who
is
is
that
it?
what it is?
Who is it?
What do you mean who?
Which guy is letting them down? If you're,
It's not just one guy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's
It's the unit.
collective group.
but somehow you're able to watch enough and go, it's the same culprit, or it's this
Do
a
you
little bit more
remember
than
when Lindy was the Stars head coach and Kurt Frazier was on the coaching staff and he
Mhm.
was in charge of the power play. And anytime the power play was bad, Stars fans would say, Kurt Frazier doesn't know what he's talking about. It's easy to blame the coach in charge
yes.
because you can get rid of one coach versus
And you
5 or
think
10 players.
and folks, Steve Spott's not doing anything different than he did last year
when they were really good.
when they
power
were
play.
really good.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same group with except one guy, right? I mean, are we missing anybody else besides Pavelski? I'm going to say Pavelski again. Are we missing anybody besides him? No. But again, there you go.
He dung you on him.
Jim, get in your car and drive to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and go get Joe.
You think
No, that's only half.
are we starting this already? Are we
No.
doing the Joe Pavelski
Go
half-
get
like
Joe.
late season edition?
Maybe fly him in and talk to the guys. I mean, he was a big piece. And again, no, this is not where I'm going because they're 5-2 for
They're
God's
5-2.
sakes.
Luds is
Somebody
No.
get Joe and
You guys are just getting me going down
Luds,
this road.
Luds is packing up
Well,
like,
I just
like we
don't-
have 1
I don't-
minute left.
Out of
Listen,
retirement.
I've been on teams that were really good teams and drifted away at certain times, and then it was hard to pull it back in, regardless of that time of year. These guys are too good and have something at the end of this that's very, very important that they can obtain. They just got, I mean, again, it's a, I don't know. Again, go get Joe.
Hey,
Go, Joe.
I got to read this one. T Farmer writes in nerd stat. He's speaking Luddy's language.
It's directly
right
to Sean.
here. UPL Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is 40th best in goals saved above expected. The Stars made him look great. I don't think that's the case. I think he had a very good game. I think he plays on a team that is a collective defensively flawed team. And so he probably faces some really high danger shots. And so I know you say, well, goals saved above expected, that's sort of supposed to balance out he's facing a lot of high danger chances to save him. But look, that doesn't, again, that's why the analytics and the eye test together work better than one or the other, because when you look at the goal save above expected, sure, it's great that Jake's leading the league in that category, but you can't just assume that the numbers tell the whole tale, because what happens if it's a high danger chance, but it's a backdoor tap in because the D didn't cover it properly, or it's a 3-on-1 because the forwards didn't track back. And again, you have to look at the context.
Yeah, this is not one of those that I'd say the Stars got outplayed by a goalie they shouldn't have gotten outplayed by. I didn't think he was spectacular by any means. I think the Stars didn't make him look good because they missed the net 100 times and they didn't create the chances until late in that game. And besides that, I mean, just going through it, I can remember a handful of them that you talked about were really high danger scoring chances for the Stars created off of plays. So I just think that sometimes you got to just admit the Stars lost this game.
Do you guys want to see what our GM chimed in the chat?
Jim Nill?
No. Our GM, not their
yeah.
GM. John, can you find GM Ben's all caps tweet or chat?
Is it
Guys,
say if it starts with "you're fired"? I don't want to see
No,
it.
it says go get Joe, go get Joe, go get Joe. So he's all in favor of going to get Joe Pavelski. There's your ding.
We'll have to change this to seconds pretty soon.
Luds, Ardell wrote out, can Steve Spott go out there and score?
Maybe he can. I don't know.
Maybe he can. And then Ardell follows up with, it's the players.
It is. Well, who else can it be?
T Farmer writes, we need Joe's tipping school back. Not going to lie.
I could show them a thing or two.
You?
Yeah, I was tipping screens and rebounds. That's what I was known for, lads.
Big
You
tip
can do
guy.
it.
Yeah, big
do
tip
it.
guy.
Ooh, Ben also got into earlier and didn't see. He said, sorry, I just got back here. Do I need to yell at Owen about anything? And then he follows up with, yell at us in the chat, Luds.
Yell at who?
You were yelling at the chat earlier. Look at our GM. He wants you to, he's asking you. This sounds a bit
He wants some-
masochistic, doesn't
Is
it?
this the same guy that told me to clean up my language?
He wants
I
some.
believe
I
so.
can't do both.
He wants
It's
some
either going to
urgency.
come out or it
If
ain't.
you're gonna yell, you can't filter.
Oh,
I don't think you want to see him wearing it. Just to be honest,
that might have been a child size you gave me, Ben. I
Was that a
appreciate it.
CM?
I appreciate it, but
just give it to Sean.
I mean, if it gets cold, we might be able to crack open some
good
Coronas
lord.
on
Our
Lutz's
chat
nips
is
with
going
those.
off the rails here, guys. Ardell just called Sam.
Just so Ben knows, GM Ben, I had it. I was wearing it today. I put it on, and then I went, no.
You feel like it was a little Muscle Beach?
Oh, it's too tiny. It's too tiny.
Look at T Farmer wants you to yell at him.
You guys are
and
strange.
Go to the one Ardell said.
I love
because
it.
He came
T
up
Farmer, we'll meet at where we met a couple days
came
ago.
up with 2 nicknames for Sam. One was Sam the Big Tipper, and the other one was
Just the tipper.
Sam Just the Tipper. Now we're getting off the rails.
Which is interesting.
Those
based
are
on
better.
Sam has been very much. Speaking of just the tip, Sam's bathroom experience today. He's tried to bring it up on 2 separate occasions during the show,
It's true. He wants us to ask
as
him
well
about
as
the
off the
bathroom.
air.
I'm just excited sometimes. You know what I mean?
He wants
That's
us
a
to
bad visual. No.
It's a really bad visual.
ask me about my.
By the way, Ardell goes, Salty Luds is the best Luds.
Luds has been packing up since like 9
Then
o'clock.
Cyberways says you're implying we were ever on the rails. Mate, we don't need rails. We're hoverboards. And then, yeah. Jimmy asks a real question. Is playing down to our opponents becoming a thing again?
I think it's a thing in all sports. I mean, I go golfing with people and they can just suck. I bring them right down to my level.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beer a hole, they're done. They're done.
They can't hang your beer hole like you can.
That's standard though.
Is it?
Yeah.
You drink
beer
a
hole?
you drink a beer a
Isn't it?
hole.
No.
Well, that's our standard.
Just imagine Sam.
I can't drink a
Sam
beer
is-
a day.
Sam is Mr. Drink the neck of the beer, and you're asking him to put down 18?
Yeah.
18 beers.
It's
I
4
would.
hours.
Do
I would
you
be dead.
know-
4
You
hours.
would have
I
to
would be
get his
dead.
stomach pumped.
Yeah, I'd be dead. I think if you gave me 8 beers in 4 hours,
No.
I'd be
Forget
prom
the
night.
Alcohol
See, we're getting
problem.
off the rails again.
Could you actually
this is-
get 18
This is not
beers-
relative to
could you
this show.
Swallow 18 beers over
Should've
a
never
couple
said that.
hours.
I'd have to go to the bathroom a lot of times.
Why
Here
don't
we
you do
go, we're
that?
in the
I don't get-
bathroom again.
Let me
Owen's
ask you a
gotta read.
question.
You can do that if you want.
Luds, let me ask you a question. I can go to the bathroom during the show.
Wait, one more. Just because our GM loves to have a little fun. He's going to get a new shirt size ordered for Luds. A 4XL ordered tonight.
Thank you.
There you go, Luds. Put it over your pads.
Men's size, huh?
Put it over your shin guards.
Oh, he chirped you at the end.
He's going to skate with us on Friday. Sam
Yeah.
skating
Hey,
with
look at
us.
this. T Farmer, I've seen Luds chirp at Dick's. It's a whole thing.
This is true. I witnessed it as well.
You were chirping people.
No,
Well,
I was,
see,
getting,
Luds
I was pretty much
actually-
getting chirped.
It was
By
a
the
very
way-
it was a very chivalrous thing that Luds did because
A what?
Tom, I'm sorry, what
what?
was that?
chivalrous.
What was that? A Boston?
That's
thing?
like-
not how you say that.
You
mean
Lemon
chivalrous?
stuff.
It's like a walrus.
Chivalrous.
Chivalrous.
I just think of that walrus playing
This
goalie.
is what happens when you have a
chivalrous.
23-year-old producer.
How
You're
delicious is it
23?
for
28.
you to
28.
be able to chirp John about pronunciation? If the shoe is totally on the other
Yeah.
foot.
That's bad.
The shoe is
That-
not,
that-
the shoe is
that's-
not on either foot.
We don't need any more.
I don't like
I'm
it.
looking at Luds.
We don't.
Do we have a break?
We
We're
do.
supposed to do
Coming
something
up
here?
next on the DLS Battle Stars post-game show, we'll name our man of the match. We'll do our Herman Marshall
Train
marquee
wreck.
moment of the game, and we'll also look ahead at the Boston Bruins here on the DLS Stars post-game show.
Go, Sam, go.
But first, as Sam runs off to the bathroom, DLS has a new introductory offer for new diehard signups. Go to alldls.com now and join the diehard program for just $4 a month. Get access to all the exclusive content on alldls.com, including Sean and Sam's exclusive interviews and analysis. You can get access to the Discord where you can interact with like-minded fans, shoot the breeze with us, and participate in Luddy's damn Discord channel, which will be back next week. So don't hesitate. Look, we're having a lot of fun in the chat. It carries over into the Discord.
Is that going to be a Halloween Discord?
think
Can't
that's
do
the way
it.
it'll
Can't
shake
do it
out,
on
yeah.
Friday, so it's got to
we
be
will have to
Thursday.
do a Thursday Halloween
Discord.
edition.
Although we do have something
Costume.
coming up on the Saturday of that week in which we will have ample time to maybe do Discord questions, possibly while the Stars are playing in the continent of Europe.
He's talking about doing something we haven't done yet.
Was that? Were we supposed to?
I wasn't even listening.
Were we supposed to drop it there?
No, not
Just a-
necessarily.
just a
they haven't told
sneaky-
us anything. How
a
can we
hint.
do anything about it?
Well, they told me like 4 days ago. I just neglected to tell you guys until
Would you
today.
like to tell our audience since we haven't been?
I don't think
informed?
we have an audience left.
I'm
to be
interested.
totally
Oh,
honest
no, we
with
have
you.
an audience.
How
We've
are we
actually
We have
By
more
the
people than we
way-
did at the beginning of the show.
I want to tell you
Well,
this.
they've
Our
been playing golf
producer-
today and drinking a beer a hole.
Who just said chivalrous? He's been drinking some beers. Wants us to do a
Chivalrous.
promotional read about something that we have yet to be informed that we're doing, as if we
What are you
should.
doing?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, no,
Ask
you've
our
been
producer.
informed. On November 2nd, I believe Saturday, November 2nd at 10 a.m., we'll be doing a pregame show, a postgame show. And in between those two, we'll make a little sandwich of it. We are going to do a watch-along.
Like
of
a little
the-
Q&A?
Oh, no, we're going to do a watch-along.
No, that means they're
of
going to
the
watch
Dallas
us
Stars.
watch the
No, but are
game.
they going to be able to chat in and talk to us? And
Yes,
things like
will
that?
be
Discord.
the way that the show is happening right now.
Yep.
Will be
Which
the way
is-
that the show is happening, except for
If-
2.5
if it
hours.
continues like
And we
this,
won't
there
be
won't
sitting
be
How
in
any
about
here.
this? You know all that colorful language that we throw around when we're watching the game off camera? We're going to be on camera.
We?
All of us. Which means you have to keep your pants
We?
on.
I'm gonna be remote. I can have my pants off the whole
Well, you're
time
going to be in New Jersey. That's not fair.
in costume
He's got in costume. No.
all week.
You're going to wear costumes for every game? For every
Yeah.
broadcast?
Do you not remember my skeleton socks?
The socks don't
I'm
count.
a Halloween guy.
There's no, I'd tune out too.
All right.
See Farmer left.
No, we didn't leave. He's
Bye.
still here.
Yeah, there.
All right.
Night, T Farmer.
Luddy, it's time for your big moment here on the Stars post-game show. I know you've been waiting for this all night. Here's the Herman Marshall
Oh yeah.
marquee moment of the game. Pick up your favorite bottle at your closest goody liquor. So, tonight,
I'm going with both 6-on-5 goals because I hope it sends a message. That simple. I think that what you saw 6-on-5, the people that were in the crease, the pucks that were going to the net, there weren't extra passes being made. The bottom of the whole barrel is the urgency was there. So I think that is what's going to lead them into a power play. They're going to go 2 for 3 in their next game.
I like what you did with the bottom of the barrel there. That was clever.
Well, you know.
For every bottle of single barrel straight bourbon whiskey, Herman Marshall donates 15% of its revenue to the Guns and Hoses Foundation of North Texas. For those who went before, stop in to your closest goody liquor store to find your favorite bottle. All right, as we wrap things up here on the post-game show, let's do man of the match. Your best player, it could be either team, and if he's not on the Stars, who's your best Dallas Star tonight? Lex?
You go,
Oh, you
Sam.
want to go, Sam?
Do we call it man of the match
I don't.
for soccer?
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that why-
probably.
did
Yeah,
you
because
come up
we're
with
not doing the 3 stars.
No, I was just curious where that name came from. I didn't know.
You
Why
weren't here
can't
for
it be
that.
man of the game? Why does it have to be man of
Yeah,
the
I don't
match?
remember a
since
vote
it's a
taking
hockey.
You didn't
place.
like the alliteration?
Guy of the game.
That's bad.
Dude.
So you want to do the dude of the day?
The dude of the day.
I think man
The
of the match
pal
sounds
of the
better.
period.
Can
All
we
right.
just get it over with?
I can keep going. Logan Stankoven.
Oh, damn.
That's why I wanted to go first because I knew he was going to say it.
He actually told you to go first.
I know, but I didn't. He always thinks I'm copying him. That one is the easy one for me. He's the only one who stood out for me pretty much the entire game.
I'm going to go UPL then. I thought he was as good as he needed to be.
Yeah.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
I can't argue with it. He was the best
Ukko-Pekka
player in the game
Luukkonen.
tonight. He was really sharp. Just looking at Stankoven, Marchment, Johnston, and Heiskanen all had 4 quality chances for the Stars. Dahlin and Tuck both had 4. Again, some of those aren't. That doesn't mean that they're all high danger ones. I thought Jakeoettinger was the best Dallas Star. I know that Stankoven was the best skater, but to me, none of the goals were on Jake. He was really sharp early. He continues to look like he's in great form. Unfortunately, he gets his first loss of the season. The previous loss for the Stars came in Washington, Casey DeSmith. Again, I don't think Casey DeSmith was bad in that game. So look at me. I'm saying the Stars are getting excellent goaltending. We've been talking about it from both of their guys. And if they clean up some of the stuff in front of them, they're going to be back to giving up 2-1 or 0.
Sam, you first.
Yes.
You don't even know what the hell I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, I got excited.
Who plays against Boston? In net.
I play Jake.
To me, it's no doubt. It's got to be
Okay.
Ottinger.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
then you bring Casey DeSmith in for the
Yep,
Blackhawks,
I agree.
even though
Yeah.
it's a division game.
You don't even have to
but
necessarily.
He hasn't had a chance. No, he played against Seattle, so it'd be his
Yeah.
second home start. But to me, you have Buffalo to Boston, easy travel. They've got a day to recover. You go, Jake.
And they got 2 guys that are making they have the same contracts, the whole 9 yards. I mean, isn't that going to be?
versus Ottinger?
It would really
Yeah.
disappoint a lot of people if Jake didn't play.
No,
Because the articles are already written.
Imagine
Well,
if-
Sam, is yours?
He should though. I mean, he should play. I think he could play.
Yeah,
I mean, they go to
for
Finland.
sure.
They play back-to-back games. So
He
you
could play on
assume
Saturday when he comes back
that's
home.
what
He
I'm
could
saying.
honestly
He
play
could play
all
all
of them.
3, and then they have a full
But
almost
I
a
don't
week.
think they're going to do that because they want to try to make sure they don't put too many miles on the tires
Right,
early in the
right.
season. That's why you go to DeSmith on
And
Saturday.
you can against the Blackhawks team.
By the way, as we look ahead to the Boston Bruins, Nashville winning over the Bees after 2 periods of play, 2-0, looking for their first win. So here's the great thing for the Stars. They lose tonight, but their trip to Boston is shorter than the Bruins back from Nashville. So there's no disadvantage of beating the road team in that regard as far as length of travel. And yes,
I have a question.
Sam's hand is raised.
Someone asked this. Where is it? I don't remember what it was, but
I thought you had a question.
No, I do. I just don't remember where it is, so I can't. Whoever asked this, good job. Is John allowed to wear anything Bruins on Thursday?
He will be wearing it whether we allow it or not.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can do stuff
You
to
really
him
can't
if
stop
he
me.
wears it.
You can
We could-
what me?
We could do stuff to you,
Like what?
like throw you out the window or like
What? We're now committing a murder?
vacuum your backpack. You know, the classic
God.
ones.
Well, I'll be sure not to have my ass out in the bathroom like Sam.
Or by the
Well, yeah,
fan
then
in
we'd
our
s-
studio.
Well, if you did, then we'd see the tattoo on the back of it, the Bruins tattoo, probably.
No, it's
Right?
it says
Big
19 Sagan on it.
Oh,
That's
man.
for sure. By the way, Swayman playing tonight in Nashville. He is, through 2 periods of play, faced 31 shots.
Oh, wait, what was that? What was that one? Is
That
John
was
allowed?
That was the question. Is John allowed?
Sam just read that one.
Who was it?
I wasn't paying attention again. So I didn't.
Oh,
yeah.
you were talking to us the whole time,
Yeah.
so I figured you
No, I
were
wasn't
you were
li- no, I
locked
wasn't
in.
listening, no.
Okay.
Is that what you were looking for?
That's
I know. Just go back to sleep.
sometimes, man.
So just
Sometimes.
another quick look at the Bruins before we wrap this one up tonight. They're getting absolutely pummeled as far as shots, 31 against through 2 periods. That's a lot of shots on net for 2. And as they are losing against the Preds, they are, 3-3 in their last 3 games. They lost at home to the Panthers. Remember, they lost to the Panthers on
Mhm.
opening night. Then they beat the Avalanche in Colorado. Of course, the Avs are not very good. Then a couple nights later, they lose in overtime in Utah. And we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but there was some coach and captain yelling on the bench the other night that obviously sent some waves around NHL circles. And we'll show you if we can at least some. Are we allowed to show silent video on the bench? Maybe, probably not. It's broadcast, but
I hope so.
we'll talk about it.
It's going to be a bee's nest going in there.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Did you pick up on that?
Yes,
A bee's nest, get it?
yes, because
You didn't even laugh.
bears
That-
like
that-
honey, and near honey are bees.
And
Did
the
I take away the thumbnail? That could be the thumbnail.
Bee hunting,
Write
Could
that
be the
down.
thumbnail.
beehive?
beehive,
nest?
bees
All right.
knees.
The puns don't end.
All right, guys. Any last thoughts?
OFF, huh?
Any last thoughts on tonight's game, the game against the Bruins, tomorrow's show?
We have a guest tomorrow, Owen.
Beeswax. We
yeah,
do.
so we're going to have Pete Blackburn, who's from the All-City NHL National Podcast. He's a Boston guy. He's going to come on for one segment, so we'll talk about the Bruins and the Stars with him. Sean will be here tomorrow, so we're going to be, we'll have 5 people at one point.
Wow.
You guys could just,
Luds can check out whenever.
I was in, yeah.
yeah.
That'd be,
You still have to
you
show
just want
up.
me to take day off?
No, we still need you, but should be fun. Just a reminder, so we'll do the show tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central Time. We'll do our game broadcast against the Bruins on Thursday. We're off on Friday, and then we'll be here for the game broadcast on Saturday against the Blackhawks. And I'm bringing the scooter, guys.
Are
First
you?
time we're going electric scooter
I'm
to get back
excited.
and forth.
I'm excited to see
Why do you
how
want to broadcast
bruised
that?
you are.
Because you're going to do it anyway, so I might as well get out in front of it, right?
If you'd like.
I mean, look, I'm just
Owen's
trying
going to get tragically T-boned at this intersection
trying
right
to-
outside
That's
here.
bad.
to
That's
get
bad
the,
picture
uh,
right there.
Yeah, I don't need that out in the universe, but I am trying to cut the commute time back and forth so get there a little faster. So, all right, that'll do it for tonight. Stars lose to the who did we play tonight?
Sabres, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Sabres.
We should
4-2.
we should sound off with that, don't you think?
I was going to do it already, Luds. I know
Okay,
how to
I just-
produce. Don't tell me how to do my job.
I just keep saying it.
He's
Let's
our
sound
idea
off.
man. So,
say good night, Uka.
for Craig Ludwig, for Sam Nessler, for John Anderson, I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Uka?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
We all silly like the mayor.